The No Money Spent series is a series where we take a team full of common players and through either Battle Royale or event rewards, we go ahead and replace these common players, but the catch is we need to win 9 games within that run, and they can only be replaced by diamond players. Now, another catch for Battle Royale is that we always do a team draft. If you're new here and that sounds interesting and you want to be a part of the family, make sure you hit that like button or that subscribe button. Don't forget to also follow me on all social medias at BladeMiz. And for today's edition of No Money Spent, our draft challenge is going to be the heaviest player in every single round. So let's go ahead and enter the draft. I'm not gonna lie, since we're doing the heaviest players, I'm expecting either some really tall players or some power hitting players. So we start off with Bob Feller. He weighs 190. Josh Hader weighs 185. Yuli Gurriel 190, and then Javier Baez is gonna weigh 190 as well. So the tiebreaker here is going to be what player I want to use. I want to use Javier Baez, get myself a diamond shortstop. So we'll start with Javier Baez. Now we got Miguel Cabrera, 240 pounds, Jimmy Fox, 195, Benito Santiago, 185, and John Lester at 190. We're going with Miguel Cabrera at third base. Jacoby Ellsbury, 195, Kevin Smith, 240, Kelvin Herrera, 200, and then Dan Straley, 220. So we almost got ourselves a starting pitcher. Instead, we go with the catcher. Now Patrick, 223, Chris Davis, 230, Peter Mullen, 225 or 220. I don't know where I got that 5 from. Carson Fulmer, 195. So I do believe that Chris Davis is the heaviest player out of all of them, and that's pretty good since now we got ourselves a lefty. 225, 180, 251, and then 215. So we're going to get a lefty inside the bullpen, which is great for us. I am going to go ahead and guess that Aaron Judge is the heaviest one out of all 4. So Aaron Judge, 282, Juan Lagares, 215. Then we got Brandon Phillips, 195. Steven Strasburg is actually 235. That surprised me a little bit. We get ourselves Aaron Judge. Now Matt Joyce, he's going to come in at 200 pounds. Solano, 205. Tyler Lyons, 210. And then Dylan Bundy, 200. So we get ourselves our second lefty. Now here, I'm going to go ahead and predict that it's most likely going to be the tallest player. So 233, 6'1", 195, 6 foot, 240, 6'6", and 227, 6'5". So it wasn't exactly the tallest player. We get ourselves Zach McAllister. Ian Desmond comes in at 220, Torreyes 160, Stevenson 215, and then Yamamoto 185. So I do believe it's Ian Desmond here, and we get ourselves a horrible fielding center fielder. David Dow 200, Forsyth 195, Darren O'Day 220, and then Alex Wood 215. So we get ourselves Darren O'Day. And then for the common round, 200 pounds, 195, 170, please be under 200 pounds, 226, Chris Shaw, how could you be so heavy? Kike Hernandez comes in at 192, and then we have Sean Doolittle at 204, so I think we're getting a gold starting pitcher. Trevor Bauer, he beats him by 1 pound, and then Mike, he beats Trevor Bauer by a bunch of pounds. Now we're going to the bronze round, 250, 240, I don't think anyone's beating 250, 225, and then 200. We get ourselves Corey Oswalt, Domingo Germán, J.A. Happ. I'm going to go with J.A. Happ. So 175, 205, 212, surprisingly, and then a 175. He's 6'5", 205, 6'1", 212. That's a little surprising to say the least, but I'm happy with Sam Dyson. 165, 215, 225, and 215. We're going to take another reliever here. And then finally another common round, 214, please be the heaviest, 200, 185, 201. So I think the common starting pitcher was actually the heaviest, and we get ourselves a common starting pitcher. Now I'm going to go with the reliever here. I'm going to say it's Matt. 230 for Tyson Ross. We got 230 for Matt, 170 for Vargas, and then 195 for Whit Merrifield. I'm going to take the reliever, and we're going to go on to a silver round now. So we have 170 for Luke Weaver, 220, 225 for German Marquez. I'm going to go with German Marquez as the heaviest one there. And yes, he is. So just one more starting pitcher, and we're basically done here. 195, 200, 205. I don't think that Ben Zobrist is heavier than them, but he could completely be heavier considering he's an infielder. 210, yeah, he's the heaviest one. So we get ourselves Ben Zobrist. Now we got either Trevor Bauer coming in at 205. Homer Bailey beats him at 225. Homer Bailey looks to be the one that we are adding. So we get 2 golds and a silver. Miguel Sano, there's no way Miguel Sano does not win this. 190, 205, 240, 260. I got a little scared. When I saw 240 from Jason Hayward, I was like, hold on a second. I think Eric wins this one. Cole Tucker, 205, surprisingly. Hoda Young, 200. David Fletcher, 185. 185. So it's actually Cole Tucker. Cole Tucker is the heaviest one right there. That one was surprising to say the least. I'm going to go with Garrett Cooper 100% of the way. So we'll save him for last. 230, 180, 185, 230 as well. So it's a matter of what do we need more, a left fielder or a first baseman? Definitely a left fielder, so we'll take Nicky. And now I'm going to go with the first player, Socrates, Brito Socrates, 205. Okay, maybe he's not as heavy as I expected. 225, 220, and 210. We're taking 225 here, 200, 215, 215, and 220. So we have to take 220. Now, how is this team going to shape up? Because that's going to be interesting, to say the least. I think Nicky, if you can play center field, no, he can only play first base. So what we're going to end up doing is putting Miguel Sano in right field. Aaron Judge, you can play center field, correct? Yes, he can, so he becomes our center fielder. Nicky will become our left fielder. And then for shortstop, we do have Javier Baez. So we don't really need Cole Tucker, but if he plays the outfield, I would have been happy putting him out there. But since he doesn't, I say we're set. Our catcher is currently the best catcher available, and there is no other catcher on the team currently. So this is what we're going to have to end up rocking with. I think Chris Davis is a better leadoff hitter than Miguel Sano. Or can Miguel Sano play first base? Because I might put in Cole Tucker instead of Chris Davis. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it like this, although. So we're going to have Chris Davis, followed by Javier Baez, followed by Miguel Cabrera, followed by Aaron Judge. Then we're going to have Miguel Sano, Nicky, Ben Zobrist. No, it's going to be Kevin Smith and then Ben Zobrist. All right, let's get into a game or two. So we got the first game of the Battle Royale series. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch the pre-game warm-up screen, but he has a pretty good lineup. Not exactly dominant in any way whatsoever, but a pretty good lineup nonetheless. We're going to warm up Sam Dyson and Tyler Lyons. As you guys can see with the ERAs I have with those guys, we're going to be going in there and praying for the best. German Marquez is going to be starting it off for us. And let's hope that German Marquez can do a great job. So he's late on the heater, which makes me regret throwing this off-speed pitch because I want to spam heaters until they prove to me that they can go ahead and catch up to it. You lose way too many Battle Royale runs on players that can't hit a fastball to save their lives. 1-2 count. Marquez has a pretty long delivery to the plate, so I might want to take him out instantly because I don't know what it is about long deliveries, but I'm just not a humongous fan of them. So we're going to bring in Sam Dyson. Sam Dyson to face off against Mookie Betts. We're going to warm up Matt. Two-seamer is his primary pitch, meaning that his four-seamer is a little bit weaker. But I'd rather throw a four-seamer every single day than a two-seamer in this game. So he was able to catch up with the four-seamer in the previous pitch, and then he hits an absolute blast. So, yes, he could hit a fastball. Now that I've realized it, I feel like an even bigger fool for thinking he couldn't hit a fastball. So lefty on lefty to start things off for Chris Davis. Curveball and a changeup. He gets a four-seamer, and he's going to go ahead and tie up the ball game instantly. So as I said, this lineup, I know we can get a couple of runs on the board. So if we're trailing by 2 to 3, I know we can come back. 1-2 count to Javier Baez. Four-seamer, a little bit outside and away, but he got a good piece of the bat on it, and luckily for us, that one drops out there, so we get a runner on second base. Now it's time for Miguel Sano to try to do some damage. He gets himself a four-seamer just inside, and he's going to drill that to left field. It's going to drive in a run, and we're going to be taking the lead. So that's going to bring up the scary Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hits an absolute nuke. Now, I dropped my PCI a little bit and tried to pick it back up, but it didn't matter for Aaron Judge. Ben Zobrist, not exactly the best player using his Life Series card, but you give me his other card, the Team Affinity one, and I absolutely rake, as we're going to get ourselves a double. Why would I swing at that high fastball? He swings over the top of it. With the strikeout here, or going for the strikeout, I'm going to go with the changeup in the dirt. Hopefully it actually goes to the dirt. Doesn't go to the dirt, but we have no problem getting the out at first and winning our first game. So now we're facing the New Hampshire Rough Riders. We got Bosque El Duro 1 or Uno. He has Ken Griffey Jr. followed by Justin Smoke, Dante, Michael Conforto, Gene Segura. That's pretty late in the lineup to have Tommy Edman. I probably would have had him a little bit earlier, like 5th, as far as going to 4th, because he has a pretty good swing. 3-1 count. It looks like he doesn't necessarily want to throw him a strike here, which is perfect for me. That's going to be a good pitch for me to turn on. Third baseman makes a great diving stop, but that's not going to be enough to actually gun out Javier Baez. 2-1 count to Miguel Cabrera. I thought it was a 12-6. I read it correctly. Unfortunately, squared it up right at the shortstop. Easy double play. So we got German Marquez leading it off. Or not leading it off, but, you know, on the mound for us again. Please gun second base. You have a great cannon. Alright. We had an opportunity there, but his arm just wasn't strong enough, which is fine. So he's going to foul off that fastball on the outside corner, and that should allow us to wow. So he's fouling off every off-speed pitch near the dirt until he gets a base hit. That's going to put runners on the corners. Now I have to ask myself, do I sacrifice the run for the double play if we can get ourselves a ground out? Because as of right now, a strikeout is a little bit out of the question, and it turns to be completely out of the question. When you can foul off 7 pitches in the dirt, it should be pretty easy to go ahead and hit one right up the middle. Now here it's a difficult situation because we want to be smart and we want to get the strikeout, of course, but at the same time we don't want to walk them. But we have to be smart with the pitches we take and everything we do. We get the force out at second base. We get ourselves out of that jam. Let's go ahead and get 1 run on the board at least. 0-1 count to Miguel Sano here. He's been trying to beam me inside, and I'm not going to allow him to beam me inside. Aaron Judge looking to do what he did in game number 1. That was the pitch to do it on. And Gene Segura, I kid you not, this guy has been making great plays at short instead of making a great play there. Unfortunately, he ends up costing, oh, it's going to be a base hit. I was going to say it's an error, but it's not. Ben Zobrist up to hit now. Ben Zobrist hits one right back up the middle. That's Ken Griffey Jr. Do I send the runner home? I think I have to. I have no choice. I send him to dive in head first. I had the pitcher coming up next, so maybe it wasn't the best decision to actually send him. 2-0 count here. Fastball right down the pipe. I tried to absolutely turn on it. Off the wall. 1-1 count against Alvarado. That's a little unfortunate, isn't it? If there's anyone that could tie it up, although, it's Javi. That's going to be a double minimum. Could we get a triple out of it? I'm going to play it smart, of course. Down to our final strike. I kind of knew that was coming. I tried to swing as fast as I could, but we end up getting jammed regardless, and that's going to be the final out. And unfortunately, with a heavy team, a team that I thought could definitely go far. The difference maker turns out to be 1 run. We squared up a bunch of pitches in this game, of course, but unfortunately, we just didn't get rewarded for it. But that's just how baseball works sometimes. So if you did end up enjoying today's content, please make sure to hit that like button and red subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias at BladeMiss. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.